How you doing there? This is Jim the Keys Bartender coming to you from Key Largo for live show. Whatever it's called. 10 items or less. I'll explain that story in a second. 10 items or less. I guess I'll remember that story. Well, today is, for here, the coolest day of the year. I think it got up to like 61 degrees, 60 degrees down here. That's pretty much the big freeze down here in Key Largo, 60 degrees, a high of 60 degrees. Yeah, that's ridiculous. I know. Let me stop this music, even though I had the volume. I think I had the volume off. Otherwise, I had my theme running in the background. So what was I talking about? Yeah, 60 degrees. I guess I haven't seen any iguanas. I've seen a couple, dead on the highway. Usually they're not going to be crossing any roads right now, so you won't see them. They just fall out of trees and lay on the ground until it warms up, and they move around, and then the temperature drops and they freeze up again. Pretty exciting. So, I had some things I wanted to talk to, but I just went out to the store and I had an interesting thing that just made me think. But I did notice earlier today when I was being my regular day off and I teach my spin class, I went in an hour and a half early to work out. I think it's the Progressive commercials that tell you not to turn into your parents. And I don't think it's a problem turning into parents and stuff like that. But I did notice that there was some inane commentary was definitely something would run in the strain of the conversations I would have. Yeah? Really? Jim, they say, is that true? I mean, your brand is built on inane comments, stupid comments. But, talking about the weather. I do it all the time. I just say, it's a beautiful day here. The sun's out. 78 degrees. Not 78 degrees today. It'll go to the upper 60s tomorrow, maybe. And then we'll be back into your springtime places for some of you places in the northern climes there. So, yeah. It's all excitement and fun down in the Florida Keys. I don't know if you need, if you can tell that there's a Polish radio station playing in the background. That's the wife listening to that. So I'm scrupulously trying to avoid that when that conversation started. Wow, what do you think of that cold? How is it cold enough for you? Think it get much cold? No, they don't say that shit. It's best to say it. I mean, if you're with your guy that's let's say a dive instructor, and he looks at the other guy, he's in his mid to late 20s, goes, it's cold as fuck out there. Try saying that to an older person. Man, it's cold as fuck. To someone with a bow tie on. That would be, I don't know. That would be just an unsolicited thing where someone with an overcoat and a bow tie and maybe a walking stick walks up to a young fellow and he goes, what's it like outside? And the guy goes, it's cold as fuck. But yeah, that's interesting. But anyway, all the conversation usually is cold. Yeah, it's really cold. And that's it. It's an observation of the obvious. Oh, the sun's really bright. Yep, it's really bright. It's hot outside today. Oh, there sure is a lot of rain falling down right now. No shit. Yep, it certainly is. It's because it's above our ankles right now, so that would be a good summary of our situation. It's above our knees, as I was saying that. No, but people start the conversations with a statement of the obvious. It's always, hi, my name is Jim. It's always been Jim. You're just telling a person it's Jim. Now, if you wore a big sign on your chest that said, Jim, hi, my name is Jim, I never understood that when you got to put the name tag on and you go up and say, hi, my name is Jim. Well, it's from a name tag. Well, I thought maybe you could be blind or, myopic or didn't read English. There you go. I'm going to go with, because the person may come up and say, "Hello, Mr. Jim." They always do that, Mr. Jim, because they go, I guess they didn't know if it's a surname or a first name or a last name, whatever that is. Whatever that shit is. So, I've been trying to come up with lines like, hey, what do you care? Well, what do you care about that being cold out there? And someone comes up and says, hey, it's cold outside. And you say, well, I don't really worry about it till my piss freezes. That was pretty lame. Oh, just touch my ass to see how cold it is. That's good. I never understood. It's cold in space. It's cold in space. That's a comment. And on the plus side, no one can hear you scream. So when I'm stabbing you in space where it's cold, no one's going to hear you scream, and the blood will freeze as soon as it leaves your body or evaporates or something. Or you can say something, actually it's 48 degrees with a 61% humidity, which is considered particularly balmy in places where I'm from. And just look at them and go, one of the smirks and say, yep, it's pretty much what I got. And then just walk away. So, the thing that really caught my eye today, and caught my attention, was I went to the supermarket, pick up stuff for dinner today, right before we take our daughter for lacrosse practice. And it's a couple hours, so we want to get started doing that. So I run to the Publix in our local supermarket, and I'm in line. I go run around checking the stuff. I have to go back for one of the things I forget. I always forget something, and sometimes it's like a Sophie's Choice, or whether is it worth really to go back? Are we really running out of toilet paper, or is it just because we dropped below the required 20 rolls of toilet paper back up that was established in our house during COVID? I think it's 20 roll reserve system, and it goes panic if there's only 6 rolls left in the house. And as you know, my philosophy or my history, if I had 6 rolls in the entire house, I wouldn't be buying toilet paper for another year. Unless I have a couple big raging parties or something like that, then yeah, I'll have to buy another six pack. So there was one that would go from 6 in a year until 12 in a year, 1 a month. So that's my toilet paper habit, if it helps you with anything. So I go and I'm looking for stuff, and it's time to get filters and do all that stuff. I get it. And I come up and I'm counting the stuff in the bottom of the shopping cart. I bring my own bags too. Try to reduce the plastic use that we're using in our house. Oh, and I'm feeling like an asshole because it seems like 90% of the people in there are wearing masks now. Again. And I'm walking around without one. Yes, I'm walking out without one. Sometimes I'm like, when you come in contact with 1 million people and some of them are wearing handkerchiefs and stuff like that, I'm just going, I know. I felt like a hypocrite about it. I was walking around and felt really, really hypocritical. Really hypocritical because I was wearing a mask, and then everyone was wearing a mask, and I didn't have my mask with me. Felt seriously guilty. Seriously guilty about that. And I think it would be all right to do that, right? Well, it's not all right to do that. That's my fault. So I'm shopping. It sounds like I'm about to commit seppuku, the Japanese thing where you just take the sword or the samurai sword and run it around your innards. That is particularly horrible death to die like that, just ripping up the most painful way of doing it. You can take it and shove it through your head, but they don't. Okay. That's like that's one of the most sadistic suicides. One of the most assists. I'm sorry if you're eating and stuff like that. Probably the next most would be putting yourself in a hog-sized grinder. Feet first. That's probably be the worst. That would probably be the for me it would be for intensely or burning yourself alive. That's crazy too. I'm sorry for bringing that back. If you do have issues with that, you better call the suicide hotline and stuff like that. But that's not about that. So I'm walking up to the 10 items or less lane. And there's only one person in front, and they have 3 items, and they're just getting checked out. And I'm there, and I got 10 items, and I count it 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I do it 3 times. You get the gist. I don't have to say it 3 times, do I? Do I? No. Okay. So I count it 3 times. I'm walking up. There's a lady looking at it. The other guy's... there's a small delay. I'm not making a big deal. I'm looking at this lady coming up. She's a little older than me. She's looking at my cart. She's doing the count. And I'm like, uncovering my thing. I said, I got 10 items. Usually I definitely come in way under that with 3 or 4 or something like that when I'm up there. But rarely do I ever go right to 10. Usually if I get close to 10, it's definitely over 10. So I'm up there. I'm saying, count it. It's 10. 10 items, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I walk a little further in front, and there's 2 cases of flavored club soda underneath, so that's 12. And then I go, in my head, I go, oh fuck, in front of me, I go, shit, like that. And the lady's looking at me, and she goes, what? And I go, and the guy's waving me up. I pull the cart out of the line. And I said to her, I can't do it. And she goes, well, I don't care. Just go up. This really. I said, no. I can't do it. And the lady probably thinks, this guy is a fucking whack job. And I thought, to my head, I go, I said so much shit in my head about people that would get in line. We get in line with more than 10 items at the 10 items or less thing. And I said, well, I was a hypocrite already today, so with the mask thing, why don't I do that? I have to redeem myself. I'm probably sadly mistaken if there is a place where they take, consider your good deeds and your bad deeds and check them out, and like on a list, like a guest list at a real exclusive club, that little act where I pulled myself out of line, I thought in my head, well, that'll get me right into heaven. That'll do it. Oh, you mean all the other horrible shit you did years ago is not going to count? That pulling your cart out of the 10 items and less line because you have 12 items after you realize that after the fact you have 12 items, then that'll get you in heaven. That's your thinking. Well, nope. That was my thinking. Now I realize. I realize now. I said, I have to have. That wasn't the big deal. The big deal was not walking in with a mask because of what I believed. That it wasn't that I was spreading it. Now, I might, there's a small chance I might be spreading it, but the real big thing is showing my solidarity with the people that work there in the restaurants. Because I'm not eating or not anything. They don't have to really see my lips when I'm talking. I'm plenty loud. Being able to talk through my mask. I teach a spin class wearing a face mask on. Not because I want to, because that's a requirement at work, because it is a medical facility site. I don't teach at a medical facility site. The gym is at a medical facility site. Different. So I have a spin class in a gym that's inside a wellness center of a hospital, so they have heightened protocols for protecting patients there. So that that's why I do it, and I'm able to wear a mask almost and doing anything, because it's very difficult to instruct a class with a mask on while you're working out with them and expelling energy. I'll tell you though, the weird thing, I bought a new fitness watch, and the watch started showing that my blood pressure was always a little north of normal, about slightly right on for a little higher for someone my age, because of my, and it was only a couple years that it was like a year ago when I really watched my blood pressure, and now I'm watching it. It's down pretty much where it's like 111 over 71. Yeah, 111 over 71. And my resting heart rate's like around 48, 49. Probably better than when I was 35. I'm 58. I'm not saying I'm in tip-top. I'm not in tip-top shape, but I'm in pretty good shape. I think it's what the things I've been eating over a long basis. I haven't been eating as much red meat and stuff like that. So I've been seeing some benefits in the long run. And then recently I had to pick up extra classes for some other instructors that needed some time off. So I've been taking extra classes in the gym. Every opportunity I take to go to the gym, I'm out there trying to do some kind of workout. If I go there, an extra 25, extra 30 minutes, 40 minutes. So I'm getting paid to work out, and I'm working out more while I'm there. And I'm seeing some benefits when I'm 58. It would have really been beneficial if I did this really heavy workout schedule when I was 30. I think, how old was I? I think I started working out when I was 30, meaning doing calisthenics and things like that, but not, I did a lot of walking because I was trying to quit smoking. So I walk when I'm not working. Put on like a 30-pound backpack because I weighed it with gallons of water, not gallons of milk. What kind of psycho would walk 20 miles through the city in the heat of summer with 2 gallons of milk in it? No, but I have 2 gallons of water and food and stuff like that, and I just walk. And it's when I'm doing this, I wasn't smoking. I wouldn't need to smoke because it just felt kind of weird smoking when you're doing that. And then I did that using the patch, and I got in pretty good shape. But then again, I was already young and not overweight. I was really never overweight until right in the beginning when I got married in 2001. It's when I got some worse shape from 2001 to 2004 or 2005. And then I started shaping up, I think in 2005. And I've had some dips and stuff like that, and I'm very fortunate to be here right now. But I don't think that a little, what would you call it, Johnny-come-lately sign of redemption, leaving the 10 items or less line will definitely get me an extra plus sign from the man upstairs. But it certainly was important to me. It certainly was important to me, and I realized that. I go, wow. You feel like I guess when you get older, when I was really drinking, I wouldn't think about some of the things I did. But when I'm not drinking, I think, man, do I reflect on it. When I was sitting in line and I said I could have just went up and paid for it, and the lady wouldn't have made a big deal about it. But I would have said, well, first of all, I shouldn't say shit about people that get more than 10 items in 10 items or less line. Because, if they did it by accident, they did it by accident. If they do it on a regular basis, then I'm safe to say that they are assholes. And there's nothing I can say that will make an asshole life better. At that moment, say, You could go and say, listen, you're never going to sleep. You can yell at him and says, you're conscious when you're dying. You realize you're going to realize what an asshole you are. And you're going to be afraid of going to hell. Because you have more than 10 items on a regular basis going through that 10 items of lifestyle. I mean, it's just a life's lesson to all of us. Right? This is what happens. Right? It's a life lesson that you're either going to be one of these people that will say shit to people about stuff and not follow it, or not realize you're not following it. That's probably the worst. You got to be really careful about the stuff you say. So I don't say a lot of stuff about the things that I can't not stop doing. Right? So I don't make a big deal about it. The things I do are legal, and I'm not ashamed of them. There's some regular habits and stuff like that you have, and which that's the way it's life. When you go over, when you're able to do the things that you want to do and not feel ashamed of yourself at the end of the day, you don't have to necessarily share everything you do every day, right? The way life is. But I would have to walk around, if I decided to go through that line today, realizing that I had 12 items going to the 10 items, would have ruined my fucking week. Where I wouldn't blame anybody else for going in the line in front of me. I wouldn't think twice and go like this. If I saw my reaction, I would have went, oh, okay, you're like me. Go ahead. I'm happy you're in front of me. I would have meant it. I would have fucking meant it. Okay, well, you know what? It's going to be a short show today because we got to go and take the little one to lacrosse so she can whack her friends with some sticks in the Native American custom of lacrosse. Running around the stream, screaming with a branch with a net with animal hide, throwing a hard ball at each other. No, that's lacrosse. Well, listen, we're going to wish our friends up Desiree. Desiree has an operation coming up on Wednesday. Take care, hon. I want to say good luck. We're thinking of you. I want to say hi to the listeners in Ukraine. We have listeners in Ukraine. Hope they are safe and well. There's a little tension in that side of the world right now, and we should all pay attention to it. It's important because it's not going to be the last time either with this guy. That's all he does. That's what this Putin does, is starts trouble, and then he tries to get his way, and then we have to feel the effects of it. But he's not willing to back down. But I know the Ukrainians aren't either. I want to wish you well and take care and have a great day, everyone. Stay strong. Ukraine. Bye.